For the first time, we've witnessed violence directed at the opposition leaders during low public activities. In April this year, leaders who included His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, and Eugene Wamalwa were attacked on their way to Kikuyu for a rally. There have been many similar attacks, some in places of worship or targeting opposition leaders, and which have not been acted upon by the police. Only days ago, Excellency Martha Karua, Senior Counsel, and the party leader of the PLP experienced an attack while accompanying clients for the lawful implementation of High Court orders at Gatoto Primary School in Mukuru kwa Ruben, where court-directed security was not provided despite express judicial orders. These incidents, together with the events unfolding across the country, raise serious questions about whether public institutions are discharging their constitutional obligations impartially and effectively. Kenya cannot become a nation where organized violence is answered by organized retaliation. While every citizen has a right to personal safety, we must resist any temptation to normalize mob justice or politically motivated reprisals. Once violence becomes an accepted instrument of political competition, no community, no political party, and no citizen will remain safe. History teaches us that political violence rarely harms politicians most. It destroys the livelihoods of ordinary Kenyans or citizens. It is traders whose businesses are looted, border riders whose motorcycles are burnt, families who lose loved ones, and young people who are recruited into criminality, while those who incite them retreat to safety. The buck stops with William Ruto and his regime. He is the chief executive of the government and bears the greatest responsibility. He is sworn to respect, uphold, and defend the Constitution. It is therefore his duty to ensure that the security apparatus of the country are functional and up to their duty of maintaining law and order. The National Police Service is constitutionally mandated to protect Kenyans without fear, favor, or political considerations. Law enforcement agents must act impartially to prevent violence whenever it occurs, investigate every criminal act, and ensure that all perpetrators, sponsors, and organizers are held accountable through due process. This is unlikely to happen where public officials engage in partisan political posturing and campaigns. Unfortunately, the CS for Internal Security, Juan Kipchumba Murkomen, and his PS Raymond Omolo are playing partisan politics, which distorts the role of security agencies. We are aware of the mobilization of police from all corners of the Republic to go to Kalou. We urge police deployed to Kalou to perform their duties impartially and to reject any unlawful orders to violate the law and play partisan roles. The IEBC, police deployed to man elections, are deemed to be electoral officials and are under your direct command, and you must issue any lawful orders, and any partisan engagement by police will be attributed to you if not acted upon. I yield to my brother, SKM.
How far have you gone? Up to violence? Yeah. Equally, political leaders across the divide must exercise restraint in both word and deed. Leadership demands responsibility, especially during moments of heightened political tension. We must reject language that fuels division and instead reaffirm our shared commitment to peaceful democratic competition. Kenya demonstrated constitutional maturity in 2022 through a peaceful transfer of presidential power. We must not allow that achievement to be undermined by a growing culture of intimidation, goonism, and politically sponsored violence. I want to add state-sponsored political violence. We therefore call upon the government to reassure, I think we are being very polite here, to reassure all Kenyans that every lawful political gathering will receive equal protection under the law. Public confidence in the impartiality of state institutions is indispensable to democratic stability. Finally, we appeal directly to our fellow citizens, wazalendo wenzetu. Do not allow yourselves to become instruments of violence on behalf of any political interest. Refuse to be recruited into gangs. Refuse to retaliate against fellow citizens. These are your brothers and sisters. Protect one another. Uphold the Constitution and insist that political differences be resolved through lawful institutions, not through the streets. To the IBC, as you preside over Kalou by-election, do so under the law and perform your duties with utmost professionalism and impartiality. We have seen the statement by Mr. Efcon. The only thing I remember is saying, don't take photos, whatever. Don't use your phones and what have you. This for Mr. Efcon. We're telling it to you directly and your team. If you bungle Kalou, Kenyans have absolutely no reason to hold you in high esteem. You have powers to sanction anyone, including bigwigs in government, who violate electoral laws as well as those who orchestrate violence. Do not stand idle while the integrity of elections and your very own office is eroded. What happens on Thursday will demonstrate whether or not you are an impartial arbiter. As I've actually repeatedly said, you have the opportunity to prove you are not a William Ruto commission, that you are Kenyan Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. And secondly, your capacity to hold a free and fair and credible general election will actually be put to test on Thursday. Kenya belongs equally to those who govern today and to those who aspire to govern tomorrow. We reiterate, the alternative united government. Let us therefore choose peace over provocation, law over lawlessness, and national unity over political division. Let all state agencies, including the police and IBC, serve all equally without fear or favor. We have seen, Mr. Kanja, you're deployed of 1,000. I think it's on everybody's telephone. 1,000 police have been deployed to Kalou. We pray to God that this is not another kind of election as happened in Bere North. And the country noted. UDA lost Bere election. UDA lost in Malaba. And we all know that. Why don't you just accept defeat? We know that a minister, a cabinet minister, took over a polling station. And Kenyan has to scamper for peace, run for their dear lives from a minister. Or all these state officers who should not engage in politics. And you know it. You know it is in the Constitution. And you are out there. You are distributing relief food, you are giving mattresses. Blatant abuse of office and the electoral code of conduct. We are watching. The country is watching. In fact, I want to add, the international community is actually watching Kalou. All of us are watching. Election comes and goes, but Kenya must remain. Kenya is bigger than any one individual, let alone those who choose to be used to destroy our beloved nation. I want to add, Mr. Ruto, accept defeat. It is decent to do so. My sister, mother, and our late brother, who has gone to rest, accepted the verdict of the Supreme Court of Kenya.
Even when we did.
Even when we didn't believe it was hot air. We took it. We were called hot air staffers. We took it. Mr. Ruto must prepare to lose this election. We're even aware of your cooking attempts to through Infotrak to try and divide the opposition. We are aware. Gunism has no place in Kenya now or ever or forever. Kenya will not become another Haiti. We know you send our boys there, maybe to learn, to benchmark, and we're beginning to see evidence of Haiti type of gangsterism in our country every day. We will not accept it. Our answer to violence must never be more violence. Our answer must be justice, constitutionalism, and the rule of law. This is our statement. If anybody has any question.
Question. My name is Ndubi Moturi for Daily Nation. We have seen a report today by the Kofi Annan Foundation saying that there's a high likelihood, around 84% of violence in the 2027 upcoming election. What could be your reaction to this report?
Our reaction is serious concern. Kofi Annan Foundation is one of the reputable international organizations, named, of course, after, was started by our late brother, the late Kofi Annan, United Nations General Secretary. Yes, and this has gone, by the way, to all the investment community. Anybody who wants to put their money in Kenya stands guided by that kind of research, Moturi, that you're referring to. 84% of likelihood of violence next year is terrible news for this country's economy. And leave alone the economy, Kenyan livelihoods. So we must all act together. And this is the moment. Another question? Your mother.
Let me say something on that. There's something we can do as Kenyans. We can reject violence as a means. The goons are coming from our homes as citizens, our neighborhoods, our communities. Let us talk to each other. And to the police, the few rogue who are working hand in hand with goons. Remember, you destroy Kenya, you too will not have a home. We can live without being leaders or be somewhere in jail. Egypt was a police state. Tahrir Square still happened. China, Tiananmen Square happened, and you know China. Hitler disturbed the entire world, allied forces together. He still fell. It is not a question of if you will leave power, those who are in power today. It's a question of when. And we preserve our homeland so that in or out of power, you have a place. This is my call to William Ruto and his KK regime and to fellow Kenyans.
The second question is about your relationship as United Opposition with Linda Mwananchi. We saw a little bit of division in Kalou. We have had with members who are advising the Linda Mwananchi government for running to attend.
I think I can quickly answer that, and maybe my friends may have better answers. You know, when you're building coalitions, it's always never a walk in the park. But what I know is all of us as leaders in the United Alternative Government are committed to to ensuring that William Ruto is actually one term. I think I've seen Senator Sifuna lay claim to that as well. A lot of people are laying claim to the fact these guys have to do one term. So there's nothing, we are engaging each other on a daily basis, right? I can, for example, tell you yesterday I had lunch here with Fred Matiang'i. Actually, that's how we agreed we'll have this press conference here today, and he would obviously be here, and he's instead gone to I think, Thika. We're in touch. Chief Justice Maraga was always actually with us drafting some of these statements, and Mother was the chief editor, if I can politely say so. Right? So we are one. We are we all are different personalities. We're different people, but the commonality is evident in the belief that this country deserves better leadership, and that is what is a void right now. So we will continue to talk, to agree. We're talking as Azimio la Umoja One Kenya. Mother was reminding me when we last came here, we were Oka with her, with Kalou and others. So we continue this engagement. We are part and parcel of each other, and I don't hear any differences that are insurmountable. Thank you.
I think that's sufficiently answered.
Any other question?
No. I don't have to say anything beyond that. In fact, I was going to add something for your the thing that's crossed down there, that we have seen invitation cards circulating. Where William Ruto has purportedly invited 20,000 residents of Kalou. He does not refer to them as voters, although the residents of Kalou are the ones who are going to vote, to State House tomorrow for dinner.
They can stay overnight.
I just want to call on the chairman, Edung Ethekon, to tell him this is the highest level of bribery, treating citizens who the next day will be voting.
It's an election offense.
It's an election offense. This William Ruto must be reminded, and we've said it in the statement, what you swore at Kasarani, that you will uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution, among other things, is to defend it against crimes, heinous crimes like bribery, bribing citizens. So, Edung Ethekon and your team camp at the State House gate, because a crime will be committed there tomorrow evening. You don't have to go and tell people, as he has been saying, that you must come and bring complaints. No. You direct the police that here. That's what they do. We have information a crime is about to be committed. Go tell Inspector General Kanja to go and camp. And indeed he has a team of commissioners who deal with the code of conduct enforcement. Go and camp at the various gates at State House tomorrow, because a crime is about to be committed. And the criminal number one is none other than William Ruto. Just to emphasize to William Ruto, some of these things as he's doing are being documented by many of us. And as my sister Mother said, power is transient. It's just a matter of time. You will be in Sugoi, and others will be in State House. Thank you.
Kubali tuishie hapo. Yeah, because less is more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good day.
That they don't deliver.